Hello, and welcome again to another episode of Coull Discussions. That's Barry, I'm Chris, and today we're going to talk about something that really irks me.
Ooh.
Yeah,
You like irking in this show.
It's irked me for 20 plus years. Now,
And he's only 15.
there we go.
So he's been irked for a while.
Yeah. Okay. There is a music festival called Chasing Summer here in Calgary. Now, this is its 4th year in existence, and I was super excited about the fact that finally an EDM festival is here in Calgary. Now, EDM, for those of you who don't know, is electronic dance music. Trance, techno, rave music, whatever you want to call it. Yes. I'm a big fan. Now, here in Calgary, they're not. Calgary is they are anti music festivals, hardcore. Like, you
Really?
can't.
There's a freaking country music festival happening in August right by my house.
Okay, and this is how my argument is going to go. Okay, now, in Calgary's defense, I'm going to start right off the bat. Last year at the Chasing Summer Festival, there were 17 drug-related incidents which had to be taken to the hospital. Okay, now, that's a big deal. 2014, there were 6, so that's almost a triple increase. Now, there's a lot of factors when it comes to drug use and stuff like that, and we'll probably talk into a little bit about drug use. Last year, record highs for those days that they had the summer festival. It's an outdoor festival, so 25-degree weather Celsius.
For those Americans that are going to watch this, that's probably like, what, 80?
90?
Maybe 90, something. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's warm. It's hot.
yeah, it's hot.
It's a very nice day.
Outside in the hot weather, surrounded by
Thousands and thousands of
thousands of people, 15,000 people.
You're looking at probably the temperature being 35.
Yeah, you're talking about a really hot temperature. Now, drugs, specifically in the rave industry, it's MDMA. It makes you feel really good. It gives you a euphoric high, but it tends to dehydrate you. So as a general rule, you have to stay hydrated. You have to drink plenty of fluids. But if you're drinking alcohol, which is dehydrates you, it makes it exacerbates the circumstances. So, 17 people out of 30,000, because that's 15,000 a day, that's not a lot of people. Now, we've had 2 city councillors here start to cry about everything. This is how I found this out for myself. I went on to Chasing Summer. I got the ticket sales notification and went to go on and found out they're moving the venue to a different spot in Calgary. They're moving it from Fort Calgary to Max Bell Arena. You might correct me if I'm wrong, but Fort Calgary, 15,000 people. You can fit into that area and still have plenty of room to move around. Max Bell Arena has...
I'm getting close.
There you go.
You can fit
2,000 people sitting, 3,000 people standing. Now, on the
It's going to be like an indoor show?
It's going to be an indoor show now, but apparently they're saying that there's still going to be outdoor stuff. And for those of you who live in Calgary, you know that the Max Bell Arena, there isn't a lot of
outside. No,
there's not a lot of outside.
There's a parking lot, but
now, if you take away the parking lot for parking, and on the website, Chasing Summer says they're working with the city of Calgary to come up with a better venue to accommodate the green initiative that they're trying to do in Calgary, because the Max Bell Arena is not that far from the LRT. It's a quick little walk, not a big deal. If they take away all the driving, yeah, great. That means you have to take the LRT to get there. Not a big deal.
if you're drinking, anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
if
on
you're drinking,
drugs.
Or on drugs, right? You don't want to be drinking and driving or drugging and driving.
That's right.
Right? Hey,
Absolutely.
bravo for that. That is a sense of responsibility. Now, you go from a site that's 15,000 to, say, 5, right? And the city of Calgary is saying, it's an area for them to grow and expand. Well, that's a bunch of bullshit right off the bat. Bull fucking shit.
The Max Bell area is?
Yeah.
Where are you going to expand it? Down the hill?
Exactly.
Like,
okay, my brother had no idea what this topic of conversation is, and see the look on his face.
Bewildering to me. That
exactly.
This is my problem with the government. is that they're overreaching. They're trying to. This should be a deal between Fort Calgary. I guess it's owned by the government, right?
I guess probably
should be between the private business person and the private business group to come to an agreement. If they can come to an agreement and they're okay with it, then they should be able to.
Which was amazing because Fort Calgary actually agreed to do Chasing Summer 3 years ago, which was amazing because it's like, you know what? Before that time, before Chasing Summer showed up, we were lucky to get Tiesto come by for the previous 3 years. And before that...
Is that like a person?
Yeah, he's a big DJ.
Oh, okay.
Before that, in Calgary, the EDM scene was almost non-existent. Now, people will say, yeah, there was probably other stuff. Yes, there was at bars. Okay, when you're at a DJ show at a bar, you're in a bar listening to DJ music. It's
not the same.
It's not the same as being...
It's like seeing your favorite band in a bar compared to an arena. Or,
exactly. That's,
you know what I mean?
Thank you.
It's exactly, you know, like, okay, so I want to go see, you know, Dallas Smith, and he's playing at a club, or if I see Dallas Smith opening for, you know, Tim McGraw, and it's in a big stadium, you know, the experiences are totally different. They're both cool, but they're completely different experiences.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I saw Biff Naked in a bar. Great. That's the perfect environment you want to see Biff Naked for. When you're talking about like major DJs like Tiesto, Above and Beyond, Hardwell, bars, yes, you could go, but you're settling.
Yeah.
An outdoor festival, or for that matter, the BMO.
Don't they have big, huge things like that in Europe and stuff like that?
Oh,
they're
Europe,
like 150,000 people.
The Electronic Daisy Carnival, which is one of the big ones in the States. They have a fairground. It's not in the city because it's too big. You know, there's one place in the city that can hold it. It's out in the country, like Burning Man. Burning Man's a good example. It's out in the middle of nowhere. Nobody can hurt private property or anything like that. It's just out in the middle of the desert.
They should just go to a private landowner and be like, "Hey, you have huge land. We want to pay you."
And that's what a lot of EDM festivals have to do, is they have to go to private properties because the cities here in Canada are very...
it's heavily regulated.
I shouldn't say that. In Alberta, it is heavily regulated. When I first got into the rave scene... I'm going to say rave scene because when I first started, that's what it was. It was the rave scene. Nowadays, they don't call it because rave is synonymous with loud music and
with
drugs.
A good time.
Yes, exactly, with a good time.
What?
Okay, so when I started, raves were just starting to pop up. Now, drug happens at raves. They happen at other places too. Okay.
Drugs happen. Drugs are like alcohol. You know, they're
alcohol for that matter.
It all happens.
There was a couple hospitalizations here in Calgary, and I understand Calgary has to step up. They want to make these things safe. They want to make them better for everybody so nobody dies. I get it. I'm not against that.
But how's it any different than just somebody taking drugs at a house party? It's no difference. It probably happens every weekend where somebody overdoses or somebody has alcohol poisoning or somebody does too many drugs or mixes a weird concoction.
And this is where I'm getting at. It's like, okay, so there were 17 incidents. Now, instead of punishing Chasing Summer by moving them to a smaller facility so they can keep a better eye on people, people are responsible. People are responsible for themselves.
Big Brother has to help everybody. Has to help everybody. And this is exactly like his. I know his point. You're responsible for yourself. You're punishing the masses.
Yeah.
Because of a couple of people who couldn't take responsibility. So
you could almost guarantee that
person
out of those 15,000 people,
10, 12,000 were on some sort of drug. And 17 of them didn't know how to handle themselves.
Yeah.
So we all have that one dude at the party, and I'm sure we've been it, who've drank too much, end up puking all over the place.
Yeah.
Or get into a fight.
Now, at other festivals, they have different precautions in place. Now, I'm gonna toot BC. I'm gonna fluff their feathers because in BC they have festivals. They have them not in the cities, which is just the way the cities work. But they have free drug testing kits there. They actually have a little booth with people in there going, "You give us a drug, we'll test it. We'll tell you what it is." It's free.
That's smart.
Now
that's not encouraging.
At
doing
Chasing
drugs.
Summer, the Chasing Summer people said, "Let's do this," and right off the bat, City Council said no.
See, this is
No,
where
you're not allowed.
This is where you get people on their pedestals.
Yes.
This is where you get people. Well, you're encouraging drug use, and it's like,
No.
we're not encouraging drug use because drug use is going to happen either way.
Yeah.
Drug use. Somebody's going to drop a pill, whether we test it or we don't. So, what would we rather do? Be safe? Not be safe.
It's like handing out condoms.
Yeah,
right?
We're encouraging premarital sex.
No,
we're
you're
not.
preventing early teen pregnancy.
Yeah, we're preventing babies.
Exactly, and that's
Get off your soapbox, people. Get off your soapbox. Seriously. If you can sit there and get behind handing out condoms, but you can't sit there and get behind testing of drugs at a show that knows there's going to be drugs there, you just give your head a shake and go, what?
Because, okay, at Chasing Summer, they have their own private security. They have people pat down when you go in. They say no drugs. You can buy alcohol on scene. They have a medical staff there to help people. They're trying to improve from year to year because here in Calgary, because it's not something that happens very often. We have a learning curve.
Well,
whereas,
EDM is like you said. It comes from the preconceived notion of bad things from drugs and stuff like that. So this is a company and a private entity that's trying to bring their stuff into the mainstream because there's a lot of people who enjoy it and they're trying to do it right. But
15,000 people.
They're running into roadblocks. They're running into the red tape, and nobody wants to give them a chance because they're like, well, you're associated with drugs, and it's like. I would even take it one step further and be like, why don't we just legalize the damn shit? Let them sell it legally at the damn shows.
Yeah.
And let it be manufactured properly so we know what's in it. We know where it's coming from. We know it's safe. And then there you go. And then, you know what? Honestly, I think if you OD on like a drug or an alcohol and you got to get to the hospital, we should send you a bill.
You know what? Those people who take an ambulance are going to have an ambulance bill.
Even for the doctors. Even for the damn fucking hospital bed that you're going to be in. You should have to pay for that shit. Because it's your own problem.
I'll argue that just a little bit simply because, if you're... the festival is trying to do better. They were trying to have free water and make sure everybody could stay hydrated instead of having to pay for it. But people who were at the show saying some of the free water was a little difficult to get to or it ran out. So it's one of those things that, they just have to make sure they're on top of. These people who overdosed, when they went to the hospital, I guess a couple of them had to be... sedated because they were overly aggressive or restrained.
Yeah.
Those people should be charged. But the people who, they pop a couple pills, they have a couple beers, and then they forget to drink some water, it's really hot, and they, have to go to the hospital because of that. You know what? That's one of the nice things about having Canadian healthcare. Yeah. You don't have to worry about a huge,
Yeah, but that's...
Because transporting them by... ambulance, hey, everybody has to pay an ambulance fare. Fine. You charge them for the ambulance. You charge them a nominal fee of like $100 for their time.
That's another debate.
Exactly.
Because there's a lot to that debate.
No, there is. And so, they're punishing them. Okay, the Calgary Folk Fest here in Calgary had 12,000 people over 4 days. Chasing Summer last year had 15,000 people a day. It might be the same 15,000 people from Saturday to Sunday. Not likely.
Same with the folk festival, though, right?
Yeah, but you're right. And the people at the folk festival are saying it's like, we're a family-friendly environment. It's like, well, don't you have to be 18 plus to be in there?
I have no idea.
Neither do I. I know they have beer tents in there, and it's like, we're not part of a heavy drinker crowd. It's like, from what I hear, the beer tents are lined up from here to like Eternity, 15 blocks down the way. So even if you wanted to drink heavily, you couldn't because you'd have to line up.
Yeah, it's like a double standard. Why is it that one entity can come in and have just no tape at all, and yet something that has maybe a negative
country music,
folk
festivals are popular here in Alberta. We are part of the country belt. I understand that. This is what people like. However, look, you have 15,000 people going to this event. it's popular. I have been since Chasing Summer has popped up. A lot more world-renowned DJs have shown up here in Alberta, or in Calgary, I should say. It's really nice. I've been to a couple bar ones, and I've been a couple to the BMO Center. And the BMO Center was a really, really great place to go to. Like, I was really surprised that they could handle a concert. You couldn't have a rock concert. No. It's not acoustically available, but for DJ music, yes, you can. You go in, you're pat down, you can go up to the bar.
So do you like dance and shit when you go to these things?
No.
No? Oh,
I'm fat. I just go and flub around.
It's like Homer Simpson.
Look at the blubber go. That's awesome. Yeah, that's... But, they've come, and, it's good to see that, that this culture is finally starting to find somewhat of an acceptance in such a...
Grabbing a foothold and grabbing...
Yeah, because Calgary is a really uptight city.
It's just that I think the people who are uptight, they get on their soapboxes, and that gives them the loudest voice, because you got somebody like myself who's just... I'm a pretty relaxed guy. I let people do their own thing. You want to go drop a tab of acid, you want to go do whatever, it's okay.
Just be responsible.
Just don't hurt me. Be responsible. Don't hurt
Don't
my
trip
property.
alone. You need somebody to help you.
Like,
now, there are solutions to this. Other festivals, they had the drug testing thing, which was immediately shot down. They also said, make sure you give out free water. And, Chasing Summer, people did say, we did have that problem. We are trying to fix it. And they're like, okay, and then other festivals have, like, quiet areas. And it's like, fine, if you need to have a quiet area, make a quiet area. That's not a big deal. It's unfortunately a learning curve. 17 people, none died.
17 out of 15,000. That's not even...
Out of 30,000.
Oh, okay, out of 30,000. That's not even...
That's a drop in the bucket. Now, for just a comparison... at the Folk Fest, Calgary Folk Fest, 12,000 people over 4 days. So that's only like 3,000 people a day. There were 3 incidents where people had to be transported to hospital, and they won't tell us why.
That's a little weird. Probably on drugs.
And there's the thing. It's like, okay, you know what? It does happen. And, okay, maybe in country music, it's not exactly synonymous with doing drugs. Folk festivals, not synonymous with doing drugs. That's fine, whatever.
But that's not the problem that it's not the drug that's the problem, right? Or is it that? Is that why they're this thing? Or is it?
Okay, one of the things one of the councilmen did say was, don't make it we already have a high level of drug use, and obviously there's a significant drug use in the festival, so why burden an already fragile community? You always have to be careful that it's something that's manageable and it's not going to have a negative impact on the community in which it's held. What does it have to do with a community? What does a festival have to do with a community?
Well, it's in the area, it causes issues around, but no, it's just an excuse.
Exactly. They're saying, you got to think about the community.
It's just an excuse.
It's that sense of...
like Fort Calgary, I don't think I've ever been to Fort Calgary, but it's not by a neighborhood, is it?
It's actually on the edge of a neighborhood. So, you have, you have a river, you have Fort Calgary, and then you have, the neighborhood over here.
But it's only for a weekend, right? It's one weekend, right?
Yeah, it's one weekend. It's
Friday,
until
Saturday, Sunday?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's only until 12.
At midnight.
12 midnight. It ends.
So, I just think there's too many butthurt people.
It's a case of Nimbus. Now, Nimbus stands for not in my backyard.
Yeah, if it was
there are a lot of
else.
people who have. They're like, another councilman says, it wouldn't bother me at all if we just got rid of Chasing Summer and they go someplace else. Wouldn't bother me at all. It's like, really? You're telling these people that they're not welcome here.
You're pretty much crapping on a whole little segment of society. I know it's 15,000 people or whatever, 30,000 people, however many people. It's not a huge segment of our population, but just think about if people know, hey, this big festival's here, and they get a huge name DJ. How many people are going to come from out of town, from BC, Saskatchewan, maybe even the U.S.?
The Calgary Folk Festival is a world-renowned folk festival. People come actually from around the world, not hugely around the world, but they do come.
Was it world renowned from day one? No.
It
had to build up. It had to build up and build steam and get that train rolling.
Yeah, Chasing Summer is
billed as new. It's a very infant.
This is only its 4th year.
Imagine
and it's already being stifled.
Imagine a festival like this that comes into the Calgary area in 10 years. Imagine in 10 years this festival's been going. We can get 50 of the top 50 DJs or EDM people coming to our country. 150,000, 200,000 people. We can make it like the Burning Man of Canada. Imagine that. Imagine how many people that brings to here. It doesn't matter what type of people they are. They're still spending their goddamn money. They're still coming to your establishment when they're hungover in the morning, drinking that water, drinking that beer, eating that food in our area, bringing that money to our economy.
And I'm sorry to say this, but if this is where my music prejudice is going to come out. The culture of EDM, when they are done with something, they leave. There might be a mess. Yeah, that's fine. It's going to be the same wherever you go. They're not going to clean up.
I'm sure the Big Valley Jamboree has a mess, too.
Yeah, they're going to leave. They're going to be quiet by comparison to if you get a heavy metal band or concert. If, the people come out there, they're going to be riled up and raw.
If you allow,
ravers are going to come out and they're going to be like, yeah, we had a lot of fun, and then all of a sudden notice people's like, quiet down a little bit and go, hi, how's it going? They're going to be overly friendly and go, hey, and then some of them are going to go because there are after parties at bars associated with the Chasing Summer, so you can go to a bar for an after party, which bars only close at 2.
I don't know.
So it's not a huge after party.
I just think that it should be between the private entity and a private business. There shouldn't be, like, the government shouldn't come in and be like, you can't do this. It's like, well, what? If it's agreed between the owner of this company, this land, this area that they're having it, and this come in, okay.
Now, I get, because, 17 drug incidents is high, but you know what? I looked. You can't get information on this stuff. This is not stuff that's easily found. Like, I tried to look up the Stampede, and there's no mentions.
How many people do you think OD or have problems at the Stampede from dehydration from all this?
We don't know.
We don't know.
There's no public record, unless there might be, but it's one of those things where you have to go and talk to a paper pusher and then get some information filled out and talk to someplace else, because this is what reporters have to go through. They have to pay for information.
In today's technology day and age, information should be accessible like that. Stats should be available like that. Everything should just be, Calgary Stampede, and it should have any kind of information you want.
Yeah, they only ever talk about good stuff. And it's like, you know what?
Whereas this is focused on more of a negative viewpoint.
Anything that involves EDM in Calgary always has a negative slant. I haven't seen anybody talk in a positive way about EDM.
It's because, like, whoever writes this, who wrote this?
They're just talking about the move, but...
Oh. Okay.
No, but they talked about the move, and they're like, well, the reason why they're moving is because of the 17 incidents of drugs from last year. And it's just like, you know what, I was looking up the news articles from last year, and it just 17 people had to go to the hospital, and they're like...
But you gotta look at who's writing that article. Are they a fan of this genre? Are they a fan of this whatever it is? You know what I mean? So if they're not a fan of it, they look at it in a negative way. Obviously, it's going to come across in a negative so.
And the thing is, the hospitals, as I said, there was a couple people that had to be restrained, and a couple of people had to be chemically sedated because they were being aggressive. Okay, you know what? Those are the people you should focus on. Everybody else was like, yeah, I took MDMA.
How many times just on a Tuesday night or a Friday night, say Friday night at a bar, is there people who are... How many times do cops get called to bars and pubs and stuff like that? And you know what I mean? It's the same thing. To sit there and to have like these things against this festival, saying we got to move it because of these situations. You got to look at it. Okay,
it doesn't actually say they moved because of it.
But obviously, let's be smart.
When you read the information on the page, it's like, oh, we were working with the city. That means the city told us we can't do this anymore. And you're trying to spin it in a positive light because you don't want to come across. Yeah. I get it. Chasing Summer, to me, is a big deal because
every year?
Just a couple.
Okay.
I won't be able to go this year, and this year I was hesitant because Max Bell. Yeah. It's like Max Bell is a small hockey arena. I was like, how can you have a?
Makes no sense. It's frustrating when stuff like that happens. It's like the. This is way completely different, but it's the same thing. I like poker, and I like to play poker. And in the U.S., they've banned online poker, and for asinine reasons. And it's pretty much the same damn thing. You know what I mean? The reasons that they're banning it are silly when you still have casinos and online betting and it's like,
do they?
What? Yeah, they completely banned like Poker Stars and all those, but they still have like in some states you can online gamble legally, but. It's just the same thing, when it's the government reaching in, going, this doesn't benefit us enough. If it benefited them enough, they'd be all for it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like...
That is one thing Chasing Summer ended up doing is on their webpage. They're saying, Chasing Summer was a big economic benefit for Calgary. And it's just like, they said... They gave a whole bunch of stats and numbers, and it's just like, you know what? For the most part, the ravers don't care about stats like that. This is strictly for those bureaucrats in city council to go, hey, look, maybe we shouldn't. Yeah. 20 years ago, rave culture started to rear its ugly head in Calgary. It was going to be great because Calgary should have been a fun place, not just this country yokel crap.
What was that place called? The Warehouse?
The Warehouse.
Wasn't that a place where all the after-hours ravers went and had their parties?
That's where they were allowed to go because it's the only place. Yeah. But now you can't do that in Calgary anymore. There's no after-hours places.
Silly.
Yeah, as I was saying, 20 years ago, raver culture tried to get a foothold in Calgary to make Calgary a fun, vibrant place. But the sticks and muds at City Hall said, you know what? No. If you guys want to come here and have fun, guess what? You're going to have to go do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, all the way to Z, double A, double B, double C, etc., just to be able to have a concert. And after, they just went, no, we can't do that. It's
frustrating. It's frustrating people. I don't even like this rave music. I don't like EDM. Well, maybe I would. Maybe I'd hear something and it's a good beat. I'm like, yeah, okay, this is good. But I would never go to a concert like this. I like country music, and I know I'm not hopping on a bus to go to the Big Valley Jamboree because it's not my cup of tea. I would rather go to a stadium show. I would rather do something like that, and I have the ability to do that because apparently they're acceptable. Because, the guy falling down the stairs drunk is okay compared to the person tripping on acid or E or whatever it's called or whatever the drug is of choice at a rave show. And so to me, there is no difference. Alcohol is more dangerous than any drug out there. Well, or just as dangerous.
It's just as dangerous because if you're drinking too much alcohol in the hot sun, you're going to get dehydrated. You got to drink water. If you're doing MDMA in the hot sun,
same thing.
And you're not drinking water, you're going to get dehydrated. It's just one of those things. And the organizer Chasing Summer said, "Yeah, we want to fix this. We don't, we're trying to do things." And
it's like we're trying to put the blindfolds on to things happening in this world. We're like, this isn't happening. I don't see it, so it's not happening. And we gotta do this and go. It's like when you have your children and they're, teenagers, You have to understand that your teenagers out there having sex, drinking, maybe doing some drugs.
No, not mine.
You can't sit there and go, they're not doing it, they're good kids. No, go fuck yourself. Your kids out there having orgies, probably sending some naked Snapchats. It's the same thing. Let's embrace this culture. Let's let them feel welcomed, because you know what? In the long run, if festivals like this grow up and become big and large, and we just think of the economic benefit that could happen. They look at Calgary and they go, like a big DJ. What's the guy? A big DJ?
Tiesto,
who knows? Wherever he's from. Maybe he goes, "Fuck, man, that place I remember, Calgary. I want to bring my show there."
I honestly think the reason why we have Chasing Summer is I actually don't know the story about Chasing Summer, but Tiesto came here for 3 years in a row, and then all of a sudden we got Chasing Summer with Tiesto at the head as the opening, as the
Probably
closing
because
act.
he went, "Yeah."
Hey, he went, yeah, this city wants to hear me, and you know what? Let's bring some of my friends and let's have a party. And they had a great party, and then they had, hey, let's do it again. We had another one.
And
now there's a
government goes,
possibility.
hey, we hear you, but my pockets are a little bit light. Hey,
you guys are having too much fun.
You're having too much fun over there.
No,
you better
sorry.
send some of it over here. Let's find every negative connotation we could about your stuff and
Yeah.
put it in the newspaper.
Yeah.
Nothing positive.
And here's the thing. Nothing in the paper about Calgary Folk Festival and their 3 incidents. Nothing. But, Chasing Summer, first thing, 17, and it's 3 times
Just
as
let
it
them
was.
party. Just let them party. Let people party. Who cares? Just let them party.
But, you do have to state, oh yeah, you have to have a medical staff on, which they
fine,
did.
no problem.
They have to have security, which they did. Oh, we hear you had problems with water. Well, make sure you solve that problem.
Yeah.
And as long as you show us a plan,
Don't create more hoops for them to jump through.
Yeah, because you're going to kill.
Yeah.
You're gonna
kill.
come across as a bunch of stooges. You're gonna kill off a whole culture.
And you run into maybe a potential problem of other acts, other genres, other things seeing this and going, well, I have a festival. Maybe I don't want to bring it here.
From what I've heard, Warped Tour, which is a punk rock metal thing, they're not coming to Canada anymore.
They were at Race City.
Now,
I think.
This could be because of the low Canadian dollar or the high cost of whatever. There could be a lot of factors in that. However, just the intolerance of the Canadian government, or city governments, I think that might have. Yeah, because, there's been an event in BC that's been going on for 6 years, and every year they've actually seen, since they've done the free drug testing that I mentioned earlier, they've seen a decrease of incidents by half over 3 years.
It's good.
And it's like, and all of a sudden we say, oh yeah, we should just test drugs. And they're like, no, but we're doing it for free. No.
It's just close. It's just
so I have to pay $25 more in my ticket so somebody can get their drugs tested so they know,
people are willing to pay a little bit extra money for a service, for anything.
I would,
I get
personally,
free water.
I would love to walk up and just watch people bringing, because
their tab of fucking whatever.
Because I don't know, for those people who don't know drugs, for ecstasy, they used to, it's a lot different now. When I used to do ecstasy a long time ago, they used to come in tablet form, and some tablets would be in the shape of ghosts, some tablets would have the Batman symbol stamped on them, some of them would have Pikachus, aliens, yeah.
I don't know. I've never done any of that stuff, so it's never been a thing. But if
you toked up,
yeah, but that, like many moons ago. But if just let them party, guys. Just let them party. Who cares? If they come in and wreck the city,
because a good example of this is during the Stampede. You guys let people party. And I bet you that lots of people are taken to hospital due to various different things.
Yeah.
You know what? A great example is last year at the Stampede. There were no talks about people in ambulances. I bet you there was. Now, somebody could prove me wrong. Great, prove me wrong. I want to see it, please.
They can't.
I was looking for it. But the big thing last year was the threesome that happened on
the outside. Yeah, that was
on the outside of the Stampede grounds. In case for you guys who haven't heard, somebody on a cell phone caught
a couple people having a good time.
A girl in the middle giving a guy a blowjob and getting him from behind. So
having a good time, and then
jeans and cowboy hats and cowboy boots.
Just go to whatever.
Thanks for listening to my rant.
Just let him party. That's all I'm going to say about that. I understand where he's coming from, even though I don't listen to that music. again, just let them party, guys.
Yeah. Thank you. See you next time.
Don't forget to follow us
on
the Facebook. Like us, give us a thumbs up. You can do that cool little those cool little reaction things now. The poopin' man and the those cool things. So give us some hearts or something. Give us some poopin' mans. Get the poopin' mans out.
Yeah. Subscribe to us on YouTube.
That place where you're watching us right now.
YouTube.
The YouTubes.
And for those of us listening to us on iTunes, listen to us on iTunes.
Thanks for giving us some of your cat video time. I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. Good night, everybody. We'll see you again very soon.
See ya.